Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1.5 of KinoClub. We tried this last week and we realized that we are horrible at it, so we're doing it again for you guys.
Yep, I would concur. So what are we going to talk about today?
Alright, since we already did our introductions that you never saw, we're going to pretend you know us. We're going to right into our topics. So the first thing that we want to talk about as filmmakers is working for free. Something that we all do, something that we're still doing at our level, and just going to continue to do for a while.
Right.
But it's working for free and balancing making a living and keeping your spouse happy, the fact that you're taking jobs and still paying your bills.
Yeah.
What do you do for free?
Anything that I haven't done before, I'll do a music video for free because I don't have a lot of that in my portfolio. So I'll do a music video for free. I'll do pretty much anything. I'll do short films for free. Just my rule is it has to add some value for me.
Yeah.
Because if I've done 5 weddings, I don't need to do another one for free. I've established that I know how to do it. I have a groove. But if it's something brand new, like shooting like a sports event or a short film or a music video, I'd like to add some more value to that. And then there's also just the music videos and short films are fun for me. So I either got to be having fun or making money. Because, the other thing is when you work for free, it's not just that you're working for free, you're losing money.
Oh, yeah.
You end up losing money.
Time and driving all over
the
giant city of Houston trying to meet with people.
I wish I had worked more for free earlier on. Now I've been doing video for 5 years. I've done multi-$1,000 projects, but I still work for free just to get the extra stuff in my portfolio. So I think it's something that you kind of got to learn how to balance. You got to learn how to balance it quick. So you don't end up in debt over it.
Yeah.
So what about you? What would you do for free? What do you what's your threshold for paying?
Like you said, things I haven't done before.
Right.
Because you don't have that resume on it, because you have to build trust with everybody, and doing music videos, everyone's, even if they're gonna want to pay $200 for a music video, they always ask, well, show me 7 other music videos you've done. And so now I'm at the point where we're doing those for free. Really, really cheap, just barely evening out on the gas, but the time is free, the gas that we'll even out on. But my own projects, no one's paying me to do those. We all lose money on our own projects.
Yeah, always.
And I started in wrestling. I'm not going to do another wrestling show for free.
Right.
It better be the best wrestling show ever made for me to go there and stand 3 hours over the camera.
If it adds something like that, if it adds some other form of value other than money, then yeah, sure.
Now, one thing I have that you don't.
Yeah.
I have a shitload of kids.
Right.
And a wife. So my wife doesn't like me to work for free.
Right.
Even if I'm just fucking around killing time at a wrestling show, I better make some money at that wrestling show to at least pay for gas. Because if I go to a wrestling show, I'm usually traveling 2, 3, 4 hours to a show to film. So, and then I spend $20 on beer, and then I get gas, and I gotta eat snacks on the way. And so,
and you're always hungry after a gig.
Yeah.
You always, no matter how much you eat during the day. Or you want to
go hang out with everyone that you just worked with.
Yeah.
Especially on wrestling, because it's so fucking cool. You go hang out with these people that you grew up seeing. But I don't do, we got to even out on those. We balance the time with my family with the time filming, and that's always been a hard thing, especially starting out, because you want to do it all the fucking time. You want to You want to get out there every weekend and film. You want to get out there every moment you can and put a camera in your hand and film someone doing some shit. And that's not possible.
And that's where I would say that, like I said, I wish I did it more when I was first starting out, because when I was first making a real go at video, I quit my theater job. I was working at a theater for a couple years, and I went and took the plunge for video, and I couldn't afford to work for free. And that's like probably the one thing I regret. Now I've been working in video production ever since, but now I don't have that diverse portfolio that I wish I had.
Because you had to fucking go
'Cause
right
I had
to
to-
one niche place to fucking...
Yeah, because it was that, and also you can't afford to go work for free when you got bills
Yeah.
to pay. So I mean, and to your point, like I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, so I can do what I have my own responsibilities, but I don't have anybody to take care of except for me. So if you're in that position, or you're in a position where you're still in school or something, don't think you're too good to work for free, because the other part of that value is you'll meet other people.
Yeah, those the relationships that you build,
Right.
even working for free. I've worked for I've done stand-up comedy shows for free and filmed, short films for other
Right.
people for free, and those people still call you, still give you good projects, or they
Yeah.
give you good recommendations for other people who will pay you.
Well, that's the thing, and as if you're trying to do this for a career, production companies don't really post on Indeed. Like legit production companies.
Yeah.
You may see one every now and then, but most production companies don't like post on Indeed or put out a formal job notice. They call people they know.
Yep.
So if you've worked for somebody who maybe got a job at a production company or at a church or anywhere where you can work professionally, you're going to get that job more. You're more likely going to get that job than you are in Indeed, and you can only get those connections if you work for free.
Yep.
So the more people you can get your business card out to and show your stuff and get connected with, is going to be more likely you'll actually be able to make a career out of this.
Yeah, and that's like I've done headshots for free,
Right.
just for those connections. Like it,
Yeah. I mean, that's
To
payment
meet
in and of
people.
itself.
Yep. You get the real, you get the
Yeah.
and everything else. So you get a piece of it. It's just
Right.
sometimes like we talked about earlier night before this. Is working for doing those things for free when they aren't yours,
Right.
when you don't own the final project,
Yeah.
and that's always an annoyance.
It's
Especially
an
if you
annoyance.
did, I don't mind getting paid and not owning it.
Yeah. But if it's going to be something that you actually put in your hard work and you actually take some initiative for it, you'd like to either make money or have fun, but you are going to make those connections. And I would say if you're apprehensive about working for free, I would say that take it in consideration as an investment, just like you do whenever you bought your camera.
Yeah.
Like you take it as a cash investment, and maybe you can write it off your taxes.
And if you hear a bunch of shit in the background, it's my shitload of kids screaming at each other.
Which
right
I
now.
don't have.
Yeah. So yeah, we should probably film at your place.
Probably.
But yeah, it's them yelling at each other because we're fucking real dudes. We don't own a studio. We're just
Oh yeah.
hanging out and
Yeah, and that's the challenge as well as just finding those places to film, which is another reason why you need connections.
Yep.
So you the way we met was you worked for like dirt cheap for me on a project.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah, I just posted a deal on Craigslist, and one of the reasons I posted on Craigslist was not because I didn't know how to edit, or not because I didn't know other people that could edit, but one of the big reasons was I wanted to meet people, in the community that actually had some talent, and then you and I met off that. I paid you a dirt cheap rate, and we've been
for what
doing
it was.
stuff.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. You paid. One, that was one of those I'd never edited professionally before.
Yeah,
So it was one of those
you can say that you did it. You can put it on your resume.
and I would have done it for free,
Yeah.
mainly because you lived on the north side, same as me. So
Yeah.
hold on, let me go bitch at them.
Okay.
And that's why I don't have kids. I was just telling good people at home, that's why I don't have kids.
All right, but yeah, I would have, you know, it was one of those things I'd never edited professionally,
Right.
and I was looking to mainly prove to my wife that I can make money doing this,
Right.
and so yeah, we hooked up and
We
then I edited that Street Rat. I don't know where it is, but look for it.
Yeah, or don't.
Is it-
It's not my favorite project. I mean,
Is it anywhere right now?
It's on my hard drive. Right now.
It's on. I think I just deleted it off.
I gotta say that I still haven't, like, I watched it whenever we were doing the rough draft, but I still haven't watched the whole thing all the way through. I'm scared of it.
It was
Which
fun.
is another reason why you do stuff for free, because you don't know when you're gonna screw it all up.
And that's and the story of him filming that is fun
yeah,
for another time. But whenever we get into our own talk about our own projects, the
Yeah.
shit that we did, that's one that I tell people about. You know, hey, my buddy filmed this short and in this time frame using this equipment, and
Yeah.
this is the result.
and because of working for dirt cheap to free, you and I have inadvertently hung out at least once a week since we met.
Yeah, like not even like, hey, that's the thing that, you know, you meet people and you're like, hey, you know, because we both want to film, we both want to, you know, do this
Yeah.
shit just to put cameras out and lighting,
Yeah.
and get shit done. That's the, you know, you don't find many people with the same passions.
Yeah.
You know, we don't love sacking groceries at HEB, so we
Right.
don't meet doing that. You know, but you know,
Right.
we'll film once a week doing this. We, you know, almost a week ago, we filmed the first version of this that really sucked because
Yeah.
we made a bunch of mistakes.
Another
and
reason why you work for free. Whenever you start out, you suck and you learn to do it better.
So, what is a project that you did for free
Uh-huh.
that they shouldn't have given you because you had no clue what the fuck you were doing?
Probably my first full-time video job. My first full-time video position. I got hired at a church here in the Woodlands, Texas, and my first day. I worked around these great editors, great people, and I realized I didn't know what I was doing. I realized I was just some scrub. But what was great is, for some reason, they knew I was just this green guy, and they still took a chance on me. You know, and I would say they had no business paying me the rate that they were paying me. They had no business hiring me. Matter of fact, my boss, my very first day, looked at me and was like, "Yeah, you're the least qualified applicant we interviewed, but we're just gonna take a shot."
You met their budget.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I would say that was deal, and then probably, so that was for sure. I had no business doing that. I did a couple baseball shoots, baseball training camps. When you work in the South, you're gonna have to do sports.
Yep.
You're gonna have to do sports if you want to make it in
And it's fun. You don't need
Yeah.
a lot of experience. You don't need great cameras. You know, you can have your shit cameras and do
Yeah, because
and do
they
sports
just
'cause you're better than anything they have.
yeah you're the bottom level.
Meemaw with her iPhone is fucking,
Yeah.
you know, isn't cutting it. So they
Well,
bring
that and those training camps, they're not looking for sexy shots. They just want the information. They just want to
Yep.
see how the players do, and that's what I was like doing. Was I would get these gigs for like $100-200 a day, and
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
I did that. And then I will say, my first wedding, I got it through my film. Luckily, I did pull it off. But I got it through the film apprenticeship I went through. $2,000 budget. First wedding.
Jesus.
I pulled it off though. I did pull it off.
You didn't ruin the best day of their life?
No, I didn't. I made them a highlight video and a full, like, 20-minute documentary. They only sent the highlight video back once, which is that's expected. You always send it out, and then they send revisions. And then I sent them like the full documentary, and they never said anything about it after that. And no news is good news.
Yep.
So yeah, those are my stories. But I was like, that's probably the highest budget project that I worked on, and it was my first
And you
one.
actually did it.
And I pulled it out. What about you? What was the one you had no business taking any money for?
Well, there's been my first gigs in wrestling.
Yeah.
How
much did you take them for?
0. Like, I shouldn't have even been there.
Oh, you shouldn't have even been in the
like
near the ring.
I should have given them money to set. Okay. I'll keep my door open. Yes, ma'am. Alright, so yeah, I should have paid them money. They gave me complete creative control of their media. And
Shoot.
what they were paying me in was I own the footage.
Uh-huh.
I owned all the rights to the footage. So,
Right.
and in Houston has some really good wrestlers. So I own the footage of some really good matches.
Yeah.
And not that I'll make anything off that eventually, but you take that chance of, hey, this guy may turn into something and someone will buy this match one day.
Yeah.
But it also became mine, and I got to edit it, and I got to learn, and I fucked those things up. I look at them now, and I had no business behind a camera. I had no business editing on my fucking shitty editing stuff. It was the fucking Power Director software, and it was a good software. I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to color correct. I didn't know how to create graphics. Mm-hmm. And I made these guys look bad. I apologize to them now. Now when I do wrestling, I hand it off to
people who know what they're doing.
Better editors than I am.
Yeah.
And they make my footage look beautiful. But I was using a T5 and a T5i, and I was getting gigs because I was the only guy running 2-3 cameras at a time. And I shouldn't have even been doing that. But then I got lucky and started getting these paying gigs because I was doing this. Then because I was better than what anybody else was doing, and I was still shit.
Right.
Then I got gigs at bigger companies. Making a lot of money.
I mean, by that time you knew what you were doing.
No.
Nope.
No.
How long were you doing it before you knew what you were doing?
The first big show I did, I handed my footage off. And they paid me $100, which is really good.
Yeah.
For wrestling.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so I handed it off, and so I called the guy a few days later. I said, "What notes do you have?" And luckily, the guy's a professional filmmaker. He ran me down a fucking list of notes that broke my heart and told me pretty much I was a piece of shit. But he presented them in the way that because he wanted me to work for him again, because someone's got to do it.
You're better than the 15-year-old with an iPhone.
So I took those notes, and that's the big thing that we do is give each other notes, fucking take those notes, and I improved 1,000% to the next show and the next show until there was no notes. I knew where to be, I knew how to film, I knew how to adjust everything. I didn't even know how to fucking do any of the settings on my camera when I first got it. Like I didn't know anything. I hadn't been to school for that yet, and it was embarrassing. And then some stand-up comedians brought me in to do a couple short films for them, and I had no business doing that. Like I didn't fuck it up, but I didn't know how to control a set.
Yeah.
So it wasn't my filming that was wrong. It was my filmmaking that was wrong.
Right.
I didn't know how to direct. I didn't know how to control a set. And I didn't know how to
and those are two
keep things moving.
Right.
In a way that was productive.
Right. And that stuff you just got to do it to learn how to do it.
Yeah. And
nobody can really tell you how to do it.
And it's something I still struggle with today whenever I'm doing any of my own projects is keeping pacing, keeping people going, and controlling the set. But where we work in the fucking doing our own shit, is sometimes a one-man show of doing it.
Yeah.
So you're acting, and you're producing, and you're directing, and you're checking the camera, and you're checking batteries, and there's no one else to hand anything to, so you're wearing 30 hats on one project, and you fuck it up.
Yeah, because you're not, you can't do that many things at once, especially being new. You can't do that. Shoot, even if you're experienced,
Yep.
you can't do that many things and have everything work out.
Yeah, you look at a real movie and they got 100 people on set.
They got 100. I mean, shoot, you ever? We all know from all the MCU movies waiting for the credits to end.
Yeah.
we all know there's like two. They even put it at the end. It's like 5,000 people were employed
yep.
at the making of this movie.
And if I can get 4 people on a set helping me, oh my God, that's a fucking.
I'm
world
lucky
of
if I
difference.
can get my best friend to come out.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't even trust them.
No, I mean like
I've had
different
you bring
things.
people in, they don't know what they're doing. Like, hey, watch a camera, and all of a sudden you check your footage and it's out of focus because you didn't control that set. You didn't double check.
Yeah, absolutely, and once again, that's why you work for free, to get those connections, because
Eventually you'll sit around and do a podcast and no one gets paid. No one's
exactly.
This is take 2 of it, and hours and hours of loss of our time. And
that's fine. Our time's
what we
pretty
do.
worthless anyway, right?
Yeah, because we just talked about how much we get paid and how much we don't know what we're doing.
Exactly.
All right. Next topic. So we bored everyone on that one.
Yeah.
And so this is something that everyone can probably relate to, because we.
And if you don't, screw you.
None of us probably started out rich. You know, my parents didn't support me. I, had to do 10 years in the Army to even get to the point where I could do anything. But what is the first filmmaking gear you had? Like, full package. I had this camera, this mic, this, this editing software.
Well,
and I did what I could.
So there's 2 parts from that. There's when I very, very first started taking it seriously. I had a Canon GL1. This is back in 2012, 2011, 2012. Had a GL1, and you'll find out how stupid I was for buying that at that time. But it was all I could afford. It was like $250
on eBay.
It was like $200, and it came with extra batteries, camera bag, everything. Right, and then I had a Power Mac G5 because that was the only Mac I could afford. That was a $150 Mac, and then I had to buy the iLife package for $20, and so I was working off of iMovie back a long time ago. So if you think iMovie sucks today, work on that stuff. That was my very first set where I actually started like trying to learn about like depth of field, f-stop, shutter speeds, all that. So that was like my learning kit. And then when I actually started charging people, I bought a MacBook Air, just the cheapest MacBook I could get. And then I got a Sony FS100, which I still use today.
And it's actually right there.
It's this camera right here. And it's a workhorse. I mean, it doesn't have all the features that I would like, but it's dependable as shit. How about yourself?
All right, mine in 2012 was the same time frame that both of us started out. I had a GL2. I guess I could I put in $20 more and got the GL2.
Yeah, you're the major leagues.
And it was a horrible camera. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no business holding a camera. And I'm glad my wife didn't listen to me because I wanted a what did I say?
XL1, the XL1, the upgrade to the GL models.
I wanted the XL1 because I'd seen so many great things have been filmed on it.
Oh yeah, they were
20 years before.
Yeah, they were great in
1998. Everything was, the people were filming great shit on an XL1 and making it work.
Right.
I wasn't one of those people.
They look cool.
I couldn't even turn a GL2 into anything worth doing. I think I filmed a couple small shorts on that and never seen anything.
I mean, there were mini DV tapes, which I don't know if you figured out a better way, but it's not like SD cards where you just drag the footage over. You have to capture it. You got to capture it in your software through FireWire.
And you had to let that you had to hit play, and however long you filmed, you got to let that shit play in there.
If you think encoding the like for proxies today, it takes a long time. You had to
Oh my God.
you shoot an app. Think about how long. Think about how long you shoot your short films. How many takes? Now, just imagine before you can touch any of that, you have to play it all in real time and connect it through FireWire.
Yep. Oh my God, it was so horrible. Like
I guarantee you, most of the people watching don't even know what FireWire is.
because they probably had 20 more bucks and got and bought a T3.
Probably.
Like
Yeah,
if you spend
that's-
$300, then you can get a T3 and not have to worry
Yeah.
about that. But then I upgraded to a T5 and a T5i that I filmed
Okay.
wrestling on.
Yeah.
Never and still use the T5i right there. T5 sitting on the desk behind me.
So those were good investments, I would say, if you bought them at your beginning of your career and you still use them.
Yeah, and then I went to. Now, what I got was the Montgomery GI Bill let me go to school through Full Sail, and they sent me a fucking great package, including FS 500
Right.
and the lighting kit and a nice computer
Yeah.
to edit everything on. So I got lucky
Right.
with that part. But yeah, before then it was a Windows computer with
Movie maker.
It was Cyberlink Power Director.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was funny. It was Bush League. It was amateur hour.
Yeah.
I had no business doing anything.
Yeah. But let me ask this: if you had all the money in the world back then, would you even know what to do with it? If somebody just dropped
No,
$10,000,
I would have bought
equipment-
I would have bought an XL1.
Yeah.
I would have wasted my fucking life
Yeah.
on an XL1
So I mean,
because my mind was set in fucking one thing. I had an XL1. I will make the next Swingers.
right? Yeah. So I know we said we weren't going to talk about this, but if you had $250, I mean, what would you buy today?
$250.
Yeah.
$250 in 2012. You and I both would have thought about buying a camera.
Yeah.
No camera. If I bought a $250 camera now, I might as well just fucking throw it out.
Except I mean, you can get T2Is.
I wouldn't even film on a T2i right now
No?
or a T3. Like I got a buddy. He's got a T6, and it's still not.
Not
You know,
there.
Yeah, it's just it's not the same. You know.
See,
I mean, maybe I'm
I would say to
biased.
learn on.
If I was starting out,
Like I'm saying, like you know nothing.
if I know nothing,
If you know nothing, you have $250, just like you did. I would not be opposed to getting
Yeah,
the
T3.
T2i or T3i
Yep.
because you can get those for like $300.
yeah, no, that would be those Canons.
And you'll learn about your shutter speeds, your f-stops, your ISOs, and all that. I mean, like I said, I'm still using the same camera that I bought back then. You're still using T5i. So
yeah, and these cameras they're built. They're fucking great.
yeah. I mean, I can trust my FS100 more than I can A7S II from a rental house.
Yep.
Not that that's not a good camera. It's just I trust my FS100 way more. It's a workhorse. But yeah, I mean, if you were getting a T2i right now, you could still come up with
Yeah,
this.
you
You can learn.
And that's
Yeah,
like
you
if my
don't.
kids wanted to learn filming, I'd buy them a T3 probably.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to spend a bunch of money if you don't know what you're doing. Don't go out and spend $10,000 worth of shit.
You're gonna especially if you don't know what you're
And
doing.
if you don't know what an f-stop is.
Yeah, because you're gonna find out real quick that you would have wished you had that money back and could get a couple of less expensive things.
Yep.
But
More-
would have been that guy's.
Oh.
Was it the card or the battery?
Battery.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
That's what I love about the FS100 is that the batteries last forever. Like shoot.
Yeah, the big ass batteries.
You got the. Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm eyeballing the A7 III is because they fixed the battery life issue.
It's hot. I think this is my bad battery.
There's always a bad battery.
But yeah, less expensive things. I wouldn't concentrate on the camera as much as I would concentrate on a lighting kit.
Lighting, audio, and
Because-
support like glide cam or slider.
Yep. You can make things from a T3 look good,
Mm-hmm.
but you could buy if you could buy a Red Dragon.
If
and
you don't know
what
what
the
you're
fuck
doing,
you're doing,
it's gonna look. I would say that you could give me a T2i, and I could make a better image than somebody off the street with a Red Dragon.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I would almost guarantee you that they wouldn't even know how to hit the record on a Red Dragon.
Like, if I had the FS500 when I first started,
Mhm.
I'd have been so
Be
frustrated.
totally lost on you.
It would, yeah. It's lost. Like I'm just now learning all the great things that are in it.
Yeah.
After a year, it wouldn't have been worth me spending that money on something like that.
Yeah, you definitely would wish.
The T5i was lost on me. Like I
Yeah.
had no business with that. I should have started with the T3.
Mhm.
You know, I should have. I should have gone to school first for that. I wouldn't. I got a business degree instead of a film degree first.
Right.
That was my mistake. But I had no business getting in depth in it because I didn't even know. It took, it took being told what I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what's your f-stop setting? Fuck Jesus, I don't even know what a fucking f-stop
Oh, yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So now I got to go research and figure out what f-stop does and how I.
It's like, let me figure that out while I Google it real quick.
Yeah. Let me figure out f-stop and ISO and gain and all that shit. Like I don't. There was nothing about me that other than I wanted to make some films.
Right. And honestly, you shouldn't spend more. You should spend as little as possible if you're just starting out.
Yep.
Because you're gonna wish you had that. Because 6 months down the line, you're gonna wish you had that money. You're definitely gonna wish you had that money back so you can buy some stuff. I mean, I remember when I bought the FS. You get the A7S Mark I was about $1,000 more, and I'm so glad I didn't buy that. I'm so glad that I bought the FS and just bought a $250 light kit and all that.
Yep.
Which I still use today.
Yeah, that's. I mean, lighting is lighting.
Yeah, I still have.
I think this here in the next few months I'm upgrading. I'm adding another piece to it, but from the basics are the basics.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what about you guys? We're doing this. We're talking to each other.
Right.
What did you start off with? What do you need? What do you wish you had started off with?
Yeah.
If your fucking grandma, bought you a Red Dragon because you're a little rich kid, and
Like if you had $300 in your pocket right now, what would you do with it?
yeah, like what would be your next piece of equipment? What would have been your first piece of equipment with $300?
Because that was gold when I was first starting out. If I had $300, that's all I'd
Fuck, man. Like I spent $500 on my T5i,
Yeah.
and the wife bitched about it. It was a big deal to spend that much money,
Yeah.
and then to spend the time to learn it, to spend the time traveling to the shows and the filming, and it was just crazy the amount that the investment that it was, not just for me but for everybody. And like my kids are fucking watching TV in the room because they can't come out to the living room because we're filming in here.
Right.
And that's just that kind of investment that everyone's got to put in, and they know what the deal is. They know this is where we're going.
Right.
All right, we bored everyone. The last time we filmed this, we talked like about 7 different topics
Yeah.
until we were both just physically tired of just talking to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And
I think we were about ready to fight each other.
yeah, we were just we did too much. We said it all,
Yeah.
and so we decided to come back, narrow it down.
Yeah. Just do those 2 topics.
Yeah, you guys are commenting, leaving messages, whatever. Let us know what you did for free. What did you film for free? What did you did you hold a
What do you wish you did for
Yeah.
free?
Did you hold a boom mic? Did you set some lighting up?
Yeah.
And if you got guys working for you for free, if you're a director and you got guys working for free, what do you do for them?
Yeah.
If you got a fucking DP out there that knows that,
Which I guarantee you, if you got DP, he probably knows more than
yeah,
you do.
that his payment's deferred or he's going to get an IMDb credit,
Yeah.
are you at least buying them lunch?
Yeah.
Snacks provided, but don't give me a little bag of hot Cheetos and a.
Yeah, you gotta go out to like Freebirds.
Yeah, as you said that was big.
Yeah, but if I do a project, if I'm not paying anybody, you better be dang sure they're gonna eat right.
Yep, that's how you do loyalty. Like I've been paid in beer,
Yeah.
filming in bars, doing stand-up routines. Paid in beer, filming these guys, and that's the best payment. Like I probably made more money than I would have any other time.
Oh yeah.
But
Because that's where the money's
but
going.
they treat you right. You eat, you drink,
Right.
and people will come back for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they'll keep you in mind if they ever have a project. You know, they'll keep you in mind.
Yeah, because if you're
I
a
mean,
professional, they're
yeah.
gonna remember that.
Yeah, I mean, because since we met, like I know that if I could take a bigger budget project, because I know I can give you a call.
Yeah.
And I have a guy, I now know I have a guy who I can, pay, a $200 rate.
Or that'll fucking just come out
Or
just to fucking
pay
do
for-
it.
Yeah.
I'll work for Freebirds.
Yeah.
I'll fucking blow my diet for a day of filming, but
Right.
and
Yes.
yeah. What'd you have? What gear do you want?
Yeah.
What are we missing? What could have made this look better? That's what
Yeah.
I'm wondering. Because I know the
Yeah.
next step is I'm gonna do some overhead lighting on
Excellent.
us. That's
Overhead lighting and that's probably have the same brand camera shooting this.
yeah. The cameras aren't changing for a while. She's not gonna let the cameras change.
But yeah, let us know what you would spend your money on if you had like $500. Also, we whenever we were shooting the first one, we had a couple of people shoot some short films over.
Yeah, I put a thing out on the Houston Filmmakers Network. People sent some short films. There were some really good ones. There were some really horrible ones. For some reason, people also sent demo reels. Not sure why.
Right.
But the first one that I want to talk about this week was 12 by Quinton Lowe.
Yeah.
And I was able to talk with Quinton about this. It was an interesting project.
Yeah.
The pacing is kind of slow, and we put a link to it in the description. But the pacing was a little bit slow. It was just kind of a draining thing to watch. And I don't want to be mean because
Well, he said that too.
Yeah,
He brought it up.
there wasn't a lot of dramatic build up to
Yeah.
certain points. And
But the actors did a very
yeah,
good job.
and I can't remember the lady who was both of them. The only two people in the show, a man and a woman. I can't remember the names. That's my fault for not taking better notes. But they were good. They they made it interesting. But it was just the pacing was off. Also, he told me it was a night shoot, which was made me think about how tired people would get at night and even during the
Yeah.
day. Like if you film more than a few hours, people get so worn out. And
that's something to keep in mind for anything.
yeah, even they show up at noon. By 4 o'clock, if you're filming something emotionally intense, they're gonna be tired.
Take breaks and take a media dump day. I mean break. Take a media dump.
Now, and we're gonna get a little bit further into this, and I thought we would, but
That's fine.
how would you, let's say you were directing something like that, how do you balance these guys staying in that emotional state, but also the time?
Well, one, I pump them full of cocaine, that crack cocaine. No, I think as a director you have to focus more on the people rather than the technical side, which is why it's always best to have at least a two-man crew.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be really difficult to balance those two things. I think just keeping them invested. I would say stroking their ego a lot.
Well, I mean, these guys gotta stay like in 12.
Yeah.
Then she's gotta stay in kind of in a vulnerable state
Mm-hmm.
through multiple takes, and through the middle of the night. It was a night shoot.
Yeah.
and he's got to stay in more of an aggressive nature.
Yeah.
You know, how do you balance that? Like I've
You
done a little
know-
bit of acting, and I've done where I've had to cry or be emotional, and we did I think 5 different angles. You know, probably 6, 7
Yeah,
takes
and you
apiece.
gotta get a similar performance out of each one.
And at the same time, I was also having to move lights and do this. It was
Yeah.
so draining to have to go in and out of that. Whereas opposed to I just wanted to stay in that groove instead of having to go into more of a producer role that I did.
Yeah, I think the thing what I would tell those actors is just keep in mind, one, do the ego stroke. They'll be much more invested in their characters if they feel like they're getting some good positive feedback, even though they are playing aggressive and vulnerable. But keeping them, attentive, and I think just constantly setting the mood.
Yeah.
Constantly setting it up. If you told them once, don't assume they just know. Make sure before each take you're giving an example. You're keeping them in the moment. Is I would just bring up a different scenario all the time to just have them keep in their head. That's the best thing I could think to do is make sure that they're comfortable, make sure that they trust you, and just keep these real life scenarios.
And I think that, like you said, that's in my situation. That was a big thing. There was a lot of trust on set.
Yeah.
I was having to do multiple roles.
Right.
I didn't want to direct, but I had to
Yeah.
be more hands-on with directing than I needed to be or wanted to be.
Yeah.
And the actress and I had never met each other before, which
Yeah.
is common
Yeah.
here in Houston.
Right. I
Luckily,
mean,
she was a big professional, and
yeah.
it was weird.
It's always a fun surprise when they're
Yeah.
actually professional.
And like you see people like DiCaprio, and like they say, hey, DiCaprio's performance, brought a better performance out of me.
Yeah.
I'm a shit actor.
Right.
And I act in my own projects because someone has to, but this lady was able to bring in a better performance than me
Right.
than I thought I could. Like she had me to where I could cry,
Yeah.
and only my mom has done that.
Right.
So
Right.
that's it was just intense, but then it was broken up.
Yeah. You gotta keep it fresh. You can't just do take, cut, take, cut, take.
Yep.
You gotta give them time to mentally reset. Because as they're going through the script, they're going through the scene, and you can't, if it starts out tense and then ends up more trusting, you can't expect them to just magically go back to
Yeah.
tense. You gotta give them a beat to just go back to that.
Yeah, that's a good point. You gotta not drill it in, but
Right.
you gotta set a tone. You gotta, it's on you to.
Yeah.
It's on the director to take that lead, and that's like JP and I are talking about doing a short film that I'm gonna act in.
Right.
And then that's one thing. After talking to him, I trust him. I trust him to take a helm on something that I've written, and get a good performance out of me for that reason.
Right.
Because it will allow me to stay in a character. It will allow me
Yeah.
to be more versatile, in this character, as opposed to all of a sudden I got to go move a camera, set up lighting, or I got to tell the person I brought in to direct how to direct or what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have people that you trust, you can also trust them to put their own little spit on it, and bring something a little extra to the table. Still keeping true to the main vision, but ultimately, filmmaking is this collaborative effort. The writers write it one way, and then the director puts his own spit on it. And it's just a matter of that trust between the thing and trying it different stuff.
And and trust the people you bring in. If you bring in an actor, most of the guys aren't going to be professional.
Right.
I'm not. I like to ad lib, and I like to joke, and I like to even if I write a script, the script is so fucking fluid. And
If I write something, I don't English well. So if I write something it's more or less a guideline than
Yeah.
it is an actual script.
And I tell people who come in and ask for me, I say, hey, make it your own. Read this. If it doesn't work, change it. Fuck it up. I don't
Yeah.
care. Tell me it's shit, and we'll rewrite it together.
If it's important, I'll let you know. But otherwise,
Yep.
bring the character to life.
It's the scripts are mainly If you wouldn't say this, don't fucking say it. Say something you
say
would
something that you think you should say.
Yeah, whatever because this is your character. It's not mine. Once I hand it to you, it becomes yours.
Yeah.
And that's the thankless job of writing and directing is that you're handing it off to someone so much more talented than you are to interpret.
And that's the whole thing is, and it's something I always tell. I used to complain about some bosses I had that wouldn't trust me with my projects. Is if you can't trust me to do my job, fire me and hire somebody you do trust. Like, it's not a personal thing. If you can't trust the people you bring on, fire them and bring on somebody you do trust. Because that will make all the difference. And it's not about doing a good job or a bad job. It's just about, if you can't trust them, you can't work with them. You've got to be able to trust them.
Exactly. And that, from the lowest level guy up to the fucking actors.
Right. I mean, if I'm doing a film or music video, I hire somebody to take care of the sound or the lighting, I've got to trust they're going to be there.
Yep.
I got to trust that they're going to be there and they're going to be there on time, and that's why.
And that they're going to be at least decent in what they're doing or can follow directions.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't mind if you're learning on certain projects. If it's a low budget project, I don't mind if you're learning. If it's a bigger budget project, I'll hire somebody I trust.
It depends on how much you're paying them.
Right, and if you're learning, that's fine. Just let me know if you're not getting something. I don't know what you don't know. So ask a lot of, have people who can trust you to ask a lot of questions. And ask people a lot of questions when you're on set.
And that's part of management is putting together teams of people that you can trust that can do their job.
I would say that's more of even a management thing than it is even specifically a film.
No, I've ran small businesses and I've put together teams, and if you, no matter what the job is, if you can't trust them, fire them, because I want to hire people that can work on their own. If I say, hey, we need to light this, and then I can't find the guy.
Absolutely.
That's an issue. If I hire somebody to run, work a camera for me to do a DP position for me, and he doesn't know what he's doing, I might as well fucking do it myself.
Yeah. So here's a question. It's a little bit off topic. It's not really off topic, but you can decide whether you want to cut this out or not. Is there any sort of, for people out there who are about to do their film or about to hire people for a project, is there any sort of telltale sign that somebody's just not going to work out? Any sort of tick that you notice, if they're not on, for me, if they're not going to be on time, I'm done. I'm not going to hire you.
Yeah,
if I can't trust you to be at a meeting. Are there any ticks like that?
One, punctuality. That's a big thing because I said be here at noon so we can film.
Right.
That's because I want to start filming at 1 because my lighting is going to be good at 1 because my actors are going to be ready at 12:45 because I got food coming at this time.
Yeah.
Everything's got to move on. Because my light ends at 5.
So if you're meeting somebody for the first time, you say, meet me at the Starbucks at this place at 5:00, and they don't show up till 5:30. You're done. I would say I would be done unless they come in and they show me something.
Yes, unless there's a reason. Crew, if you're gonna be part of a crew, definitely. If you're gonna act, there's more leeway in that.
Yeah.
Because you better be a good actor.
Yeah.
You better, if we're meeting and you want to act, send a reel. And if you're, if you're blowing me away, then that's fucking, be late. We'll work around you because you're gonna lead this.
I would say that, except I worked on this short film with a friend of mine, and it was my buddy's short film. and he hired this actor to be the lead. And he had tons of audition tapes, and he met with this guy who had a really good audition tape. The guy was late. Now, I didn't know anything about it, but he hired the guy. Well, he was late for the original meeting. Then he was late for the table read. And then he was one of the biggest assholes. We honestly thought at one point he was just going to leave the project in the middle of the shoot. And when my buddy told me about all the times he'd been late, I'd be like, I wouldn't have hired him in the first place if he's going to be late. And I think, and that's something, even if you're an actor, even if you're your greatest actor, even if you're amazing at what you do, if I can't trust you to show up on time, I'd rather somebody half as good but I can depend on.
Yeah, because you can make them better.
Yeah.
I've outside of filmmaking, I've had people show up late to work that I've had to fire.
Yeah.
Or show up late to an interview, call, hey, I'm gonna be half an hour late to my job interview. Like, no, you're not, because we don't have an interview anymore.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, if you can't be on time, then 80, as Woody Allen said in filmmaking, 80% of success is showing up.
Yeah.
And if you can't be there, what's the point?
And I always make it a point, people always say traffic, and if there's one thing we know in Houston, it's traffic.
Yeah.
And so I always make it to a point, if I'm going somewhere for the first time or meeting somebody for the first time,
Be fucking early.
I try to be there
Yep.
a half hour early, and I'll just sit in the freaking parking lot for 30 minutes if I have to. But if I have a meeting that I care about, I want to be there 30 minutes early.
Especially if you're not even a meet, especially if you're late to the set.
Yeah. Oh, that will screw everything.
I'll be an hour early to a fucking set.
Oh yeah.
Because you gotta set up lighting, you gotta do this. Something's gonna fuck up. Something's gonna go wrong.
Oh yeah. I'm always you've got to be the first one there. If you're telling everybody, if you tell your crew 11, if you tell your actors noon, you have your crew there at 11.
Yep.
And if you have your crew there at 11, you be there at 10.
I did when I did a music video a couple months ago, and that should be released anytime now. But it was a 12 o'clock shoot. I was there at 11:15. And it was at a music studio, and I was there waiting for them to open the door, holding fucking bags in my hands, waiting so I could set up lighting and set up cameras and set up everything. It was, and then the performers didn't show up until 12 o'clock, 12:15. That's just the way it was. We got to be there before everyone else. We got to leave after everyone else because we're breaking down. Because no one's gonna fucking help you break down. Right.
Yeah. Especially. Yeah. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Breaking down. But yeah.
I feel like breaking down all the equipment after shooting is like after you've gone home from a bar with a chick you shouldn't have gone home with.
Yeah.
And the next morning you wake up and there she is, and you're like, "Fuck me."
Yeah.
Why am I even doing this?
Oh yeah.
So when I got to break down all this equipment tonight, that's how I'm gonna feel like, what the fuck is even the point?
Oh.
I shouldn't have done this.
Worst part of the shoot is when I get back. Worse than the breakdown is when I get back to my apartment and I realize I gotta carry all that shit inside.
Yep. Oh my god, I hated that. Coming back from wrestling shows, no.
At 12 o'clock in the morning.
No, I've driven, from noon to 4 to get to a show. I filmed from 7 to 11, then I'm home at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm carrying fucking everything and...
Because now you're in shutdown mode.
Yeah. I know I can't leave $10,000 worth of equipment in the car because I won't have it there in the morning.
Nobody lives in a neighborhood that nice.
So, breaking down, and then I guess we could say that about every fucking part of this thing that we love, from even editing, breaking down to editing. Now I gotta fucking edit.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, don't be afraid to. I would say don't be afraid to take a day.
I always do. I take after we get done with this, I will not touch this for a day. It'll probably be tomorrow evening before.
Right.
I want to get there and actually listen to my own fucking voice
again.
Well,
what I do is it takes me I offload it immediately, but what I do is I create proxy files, and I let that cook for a night, and then I take a day and look at it. So by the time I
Because
actually,
you're so emotional afterwards.
oh yeah, you're
After
you're,
directing or after acting, you're so just worn down that if
Oh,
I were to
yeah.
look at it the same day, I wouldn't even.
you have
I'd
to
be so
like
frustrated.
you have to like not care about it at all.
You can't be objective.
Oh no, because because now you're in the mode of making excuses for every little thing.
That's like with the project I edited for you. Like you would let it sit so long, that not doing that. You weren't like, if you had done it right away, you probably could have been objective about it. And now you're
Yeah.
pissed at yourself and you're pissed
Yeah.
at everything, and you probably want to speed through
So
it just to get.
yeah,
it
there's
done.
definitely a sweet spot there between
Yeah.
decompressing and then just letting it sit so long that you don't even want to look at it.
So yeah, I mean, your objectivity can come and go.
So I think that's just where you got to know yourself. I think everybody's probably
Yeah, I think
different though.
like you're right. It's a day for me. It's about 24-hour period from
Yeah.
when I get done to whenever I want to look at it again.
Yeah, I'll take it a day, ingest it, and then deal with it. So like I had a shot of a music video a couple days ago, and now I'm ready to edit it.
Yeah.
I mean, I went ahead and did, synced it up and all that, but I haven't like gone in creatively and started jacking with it. But yeah, you just gotta know yourself, have that sweet spot. So
Between that day and the week, after that week, I'm like,
Well,
I don't even
now
know what
you've
this is anymore.
Now you're at the point of. Now you're at the point of I thought I was done with that.
Yep. Yeah, now you're just depressed that you still have to go back to it. Like,
Yeah. It's like you get all gung ho when you shoot it, and then if you let that week go by, you're not gonna go back to it.
I'm sitting on a project now that I've had for 3-4 months, and my issue was I brought somebody in that I wanted to give it to do. I wanted to act, I wanted to produce, and I wanted to give up everything else.
Right.
And then after that week, he had nothing done.
Yeah.
So now I got to take it all back, and I'm still sitting on it because it's just frustrating that I didn't have it in my mind that I wanted to edit.
Yeah.
That I wanted to Foley. That I wanted to do everything.
You thought you're done with it.
Yeah, I wanted to act. Which, if anybody's an actor, who's fucking built like Greg the Hammer Valentine, I'm your man.
And how many people actually know who that is?
Absolutely, I'm built like a young Dino Bravo.
Everybody's going to Wikipedia right now.
They're googling dead wrestlers.
It's all right. I'm built like Bray Wyatt, so so it's all right.
But yeah, where are we fucking at now?
We are at.
We did 12 by Quinton Lowe.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's in the bottom. Next week we're going to talk about a movie called Army of One.
Yeah.
That was
was a fun watch.
We already watched it. It was really fun. In fact, I'll link it down here, but we'll talk about it next week. That one will have not more notes on that one. But I think that's all the time. We went well over what I thought we would, which was great. Be lucky that I didn't put out the first one because that was just shit.
Yeah.
We weren't original. We didn't really talk about much. We just kind of rambled on. I may put out the outtakes of that because
it was pretty funny.
we watched Despacito, the video. I'd never seen the video before. I don't think you had either.
No.
And we watched that and talked about it. Then we also talked about stupid shit like they're bringing out the Matrix phone back. So I may just
put out everything that doesn't have to do with filmmaking.
Yeah, and all the bullshit that doesn't have to do with anything. Table 8 Productions on Instagram, JP Media.
JP Media 281 on Instagram.
So follow us. This may or may not be on its own YouTube channel and on its own Facebook page. I'm not sure if we're ready for that yet because we probably need to create do some pictures and create some art for that.
Yeah.
Because we've been lazy on doing that.
So if If anybody knows a good local graphic designer here in Houston
that wants to plug into work for an IMDb credit and some a burrito.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're always looking to connect with other creatives in the Houston area.
But yeah, check us out. Check out our Instagrams, our Facebook pages. I'm Christopher Bake.
I'm JP.
And this has been
KinoClub.
KinoClub Houston. Thank you.
That wasn't so bad.
I feel a lot better about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,